Hello guys and welcome back to another video from Possible Mowers. In today's video I figured I'd not only give you guys a quick update, but we are going to tear a little bit into good old Chuck. I always like to keep my promises, and I knew I told you guys I was going to make a video on it, maybe 2 videos in fact. So to start off with today's video, like I said, an update. I'm just going to put to an end the whole automatic testing showdown thing, because too much is just coming out our way. I mean, we got a snowstorm coming in. I'm recording this on Tuesday. I believe it's December 3rd. And I went to go film actually to do, something for Saturday, because I knew I couldn't do the automatic theme and doodle with Leroy and his bad starter, and to buy one, it's like, oh my goodness. But anyways, I was gonna film something and we got hit with more snow. We got hit with about 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. And usually, that makes it a lot better for us, but it actually made it worse because these mowers are not equipped with snow chains, except for old Pooh on here, the old Winnie the Pooh. I struggled to find words there, but even he struggled just leaving this parking lot. I mean, what had happened was it snowed and then melted and iced, and this whole thing was a freaking skating rink. I could barely leave this parking spot with the tires I've got on this baby, and I could barely leave. So that told me, all right, I am not even gonna touch this thing on the trail because of this guy with the big V twin, the 6-speed, and the beautiful tread that we put on this summer. If that can't even make it out, these automatics got zero chance, because we're looking at stock tires here. So I just decided I don't want to keep pulling you guys' leg through all this, telling you it's going to be this week or this week. It's probably not going to be at all. Thought I could make it work, but I guess not. So what's most likely going to happen is Leroy is going to get the starter, so don't worry about that. He's not just going to sit here and rot. And we're actually going to bring Krusty back up, and we're going to get him going hopefully this week or next week. I'm hoping to at least have Leroy, and I think we definitely will have Leroy on the road when the snow gets really thick up here, because if you guys remember, I'll leave the video at the end of this video. You can choose what kind of video you want to watch. I'll leave the video of last year. It was Leroy and the Husqvarna, and we were freaking having so much fun. We were going up the driveway, sliding, drifting. It was really, really cool stuff. And I think you guys enjoyed it a lot too. But it was the first video I did with the GoPro, so it was really, really cool. So I'm hoping at least, and like I said, we will have Leroy running by the time the snowfall gets really, really good. But with this new snow, we're getting 5 to 6 inches, and it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's a thing, So I just decided, I don't want to keep you guys hanging. We're gonna drop that. But voice crack there. But the good news is we are going to be doing a lot bigger videos. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, we're going to be really pumping the paces on videos lately. I've been really slowing down because I was trying to get that video thing with the whole automatic showdown thing to work, but it was taking too much time out of my life, and it was just like, is this even worth it? And I don't think so. It's better to tackle those kind of projects when you've got money, time, and the equipment to do so. And although I've got the time and the equipment, I lack the money, thus the old simplicity here. But I'm hoping to step it up a bit, and maybe we can get some nighttime videos. Now, you guys know just as well as I do, we've never done a nighttime video on this channel. Scroll through the history yourself. Not once have we done it. YouTube Shorts doesn't count, by the way. We did a couple shorts getting crazy in the woods at night, but we've never done a nighttime video. Now, part of the reason is because it's freaking freezing cold out here in the nighttime. I mean, holy cow. I mean, it's cold. But I figured, you know what? If I can't, I'll try to do some nighttime off-roading. But we got all the snow coming. We have a plow. We got a mower. We got a salt spreader, tow behind salt spreader. Why not get a little bit excited, get a little something going on here, and we do some plowing videos. So what I'm hoping is, with all the snow coming up, you might even see it this week. It depends on how much snow we get. They're saying 5 to 6 inches up here. Could be more, could be less. They're so on and off about it. It's not even a joke. In my opinion, 5 to 6 inches may not even be enough to drop the plow, but it all depends on how it comes. It could be more than 5 to 6 inches. We don't know. So I definitely would like to get a salting video though, because that would be really cool, you know, just ripping the mowers up here at night, or, you know, late evening like right about now, or even in the morning, just doing some nice salt passes. And I figured, hey, you know what, why not do that? And I know nighttime videos hasn't really been our thing. You know, also you gotta have lights and stuff, and we do have lights now, but I figured, hey, why not step it up a little bit, you know, make it a little more interesting. I don't want to keep off-roading the mowers in the same spot, the same direction, the same time. But I figured, you know, we can at least keep doing that in a better way, you know. So that's what I'm hoping, guys. The Poulon's ready, full tank of gas. You guys know the business. If you're new to this channel, I mean, just look at that. Look at that. 24 horses of American muscle right there. So we're looking good. We're looking good. So the Poulon's ready, the Husqvarna's ready, the Cub Cat's ready, the Craftsman 2's ready. We're hoping to get Chuck and Krusty ready. It's gonna be really, really cool. So I'm hoping to have this guy plowing, this guy salting, the Cub Cadet, possibly salting. I got 2 salt spreaders, and then this one to do some snow blowing. Now with this guy, what's going to be interesting is mounting the winch. I'm going to have a winch mounted right here at the base with a steel bracket that comes up so we can raise and lower the plow with a winch. Remote controlled, of course, just making it easier. And that's going to be really, really cool. Sorry. Whew. It is really, really cold, and I am very, very tired. Very sorry. So yeah, just want to let you guys know that, like I said, I never like to leave you guys hanging. It kind of sucks when I can't post a lot of videos in one week, but we try to do what we can here, and you know, we gotta keep posting, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much the update, guys. Everything here is going well with the mowers. We haven't hit a problem yet. Of course, now that I said that, we might. But just keep your eyes out for that. Some snow videos coming up, you know, salting, plowing, just fun stuff, you know what I mean? Just kind of doing that, because that's pretty much all we can do with all this snow and cold weather coming our way. It's getting harder and harder to hit those trails. I could have, you know, usually we get thick mud around here, and if you don't believe me, look at the channel this month. So November, not this month, it's December, but if you go back to November on the channel last year, oh my god, there was so much mud. It was too much mud, if you ask me. We kept getting stuck, but it was fun. It was great. This year, not even an ounce. I mean, there was a couple nice muddy spots, but nothing really good. Nothing spin the tires. Nothing really caused a good scene. So there's that. But hey, you know what? And we gotta deal with what we gotta deal with what we gotta deal with, right? So enough jawing. I just figured, you know, quick update with this. And one last thing. I know I said no jawing, but we've got gasketing in the shop now. Look at that. Look at that. I could feel the warmth. Yeah, no, we got the shop literally all gasketed up. The floor's a mess because I was up really late getting it done, but this is just that adhesive stuff. But yeah, so we can actually enjoy some heat without it going out the freaking door, literally. So now, without jawing, we're gonna dig into Chuck a little bit here. Alrighty, guys, got the old Mr. Heater going. She's blowing out some good BTUs right there. So if you guys are new to this channel, stay tuned. But if you already know this information, feel free to skip. But Chuck is a 1998 Craftsman LT1000 that I picked up for free from a buddy of mine. We rolled it over one time. We had to get a new hood, which is LT2000 hood, which, yeah, it's no biggie. Gave it a different look. And we pulley swapped it. That was it. And then we decided, to go on top of the pulley swap, we gave it some fresh tread. And then we decided to do an engine and transmission replacement. This used to have a little single cylinder Briggs, but I replaced it with a big fat Kohler V-twin, which I'll show you in a minute. We just recently replaced the transmission. It went from a 3-speed back to its regular 6-speed transmission, pulley swapped, oiled, cooled. So it's gonna go a lot faster, and it's just built a lot stronger. But the twist is I also built a skid plate, which I'll also show you underneath this. Now, there might be one key thing you guys are looking at this mower and thinking, that's not right, and it's the steering. This steering is 100% custom made steering system. This is not like your regular steering system on a Craftsman tractor. I'll show you why. We have a fully adjustable, get a light here, rack and pinion steering. This does tighten up the steering, makes it easier for racing and also for off-roading conditions. It makes things a lot more stronger. I used 1-inch thick steel, and let me tell you something, it ain't bending for no one anywhere. It is a sturdy piece of something, I'll tell you that, sturdy piece of metal. But the beauty of this is the lift kit. This does have a lift kit, and it sits a lot higher than a regular lawnmower with a regular blade deck would sit. It raised the suspension up by, I think, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5. It was something. It was a couple good inches, and you can see we have a lot more traveling play. This is because when you're going over rocks, it's going to be able to move with the axle and give you a more comfortable ride, and it also helps the mower out too. For structural stability. We also built gussets to make sure that if we ever did go in a crash, and we did once, you know, it can handle the impact, and sure enough, it did, no problem. So, that being said, it meant that it would have to have a different belt system. So this is probably the biggest belt I can guarantee your mower does not have. This belt is not only hard to find, but it is a belt that costs a good amount of coin. This is a Kevlar 101-inch belt. The reason why it's such a big belt is because we're running 2 big pulley sizes. We have a 9 or an 8-inch pulley in the back. I believe it's an 8, which is actually faster than the other transmission. And then we have a 6-inch pulley up front. I'll show you that in a little bit. This makes it so that the gear ratios spin faster, makes it so that the whole mower just goes faster. Now, with that, we also upgraded pulleys and all that stuff. You'll see everything I'm talking about in just a minute. But this belt is really, really huge. Now, it has to be huge to fit the system, but it's just a little bit. It's not even by the inch, it's more by the quarter. The fact that this belt is just a little too big. So to cope with that, I put little hangers. They look like little hooks, right? I put little hooks on the side of the pulleys. Well, one of the hooks bent, one of the hooks just came off, and then the transmission hooks disappeared. I believe when I trans-swapped this, I forgot to put the hooks back and lost them, which is no biggie because they're easy to custom make. But hopefully today's video, we can get the belt on, try to get some hooks in place. What else? Do that. Look over the wiring. Try to get this motor on all 4 bolts, 3 at most because it's not. And then that's it. Like, that's all it needs. So apart from just aesthetics, looks, and lights, it doesn't really need that much. So I figured it'd be a good video to make on it today. So to start off with, I told you guys I was going to show you. Here we go. The crown jewel. A 20, I believe it's 24 or 26 horsepower Kohler V twin. Now, this is such a big motor, I actually had to customize this hood a little bit when I got it. This hood is sitting actually a lot more wider than it was before because the hood, you can see it just wants to protrude against the side, and then the front here, it just barely fits. So I had to cut that out a little bit, make a bit of a divot. But you know, hey, nevertheless, it works, and it works well. It does need a new starter, but she still starts on her own when fully charged. We also upgraded the electrics on this too, because whenever you're doing a big engine swap, solenoids and electrics gotta be upgraded. Otherwise, you're just putting more stress on them, and you'll have to replace them a lot more. The other thing I want to show you guys, I think it was, I said the hood, and I think everything else was underneath. Yeah, so let's go under there and have a look. Alrighty, we're underneath the mower, guys. So, to start off with, there is the steering system. If you guys have any ideas on why or how you might want to, how you might want to go about lifting a mower like this, I used an old trick from another YouTuber named OK Off-Road Mowers. What you do, this is the stock position that bolts into the axles. So the body, which is right here, will have to sit lower. What I did and what they did was they raised it about, now that I'm looking at it, it's probably about 3 to 4 inches higher. And then they welded a spacer on the top for it to sit on, and then I also welded gussets to protect that spacer, because that's a lot of weight to be putting on that puppy. What I also did was put a mounting plate for the steering system, which, I mean, it's a strong piece there. And then just 2 hooks to keep the steering system in place. Now, when you're doing this, you're supposed to put rubber bushings on the frame here. I didn't, because we don't have that many aggressive rocks up here in New England. There's not that many aggressive rocks, and if there are, this mower is not equipped to do it. I equipped this thing to do more cracks and crevices than large rocks, although it can do large rocks. If I bought those bushings, it would actually do it quite well. Now, apart from this whole steering system, get a good look at it in case you guys get any ideas. See, this is old rack and pinion I got off of, I think it was eBay or Go Power Sports, one of the two. I think it was eBay. I keep saying Harbor Freight. The other thing we did was upgraded the pulleys. We have cast iron pulley, 6-inch up here, and we got 2 small steel black pulleys. I replaced these with steels because stock pulleys that come with plastic pulleys, like just regular stock plastic pulleys on these mowers nowadays, they will not handle the amount of RPM that these pulley swap mowers make, and they will not be able to handle the amount of friction given from the belt. So it's a bad deal. It's a raw deal all in all. So you upgrade them. You just get steel ones. These were about 30 bucks for the 2 of them. And then, of course, the transmission, the cream of the crop, the reason probably why we're even filming today, apart from the obvious. Give you guys some good lighting here. So this is a 6-speed transmission, Peerless, of course, with a custom-made skid plate. She don't look too pretty, but I tell you what, it is very, very sturdy under here. Very, very sturdy. There's our shifter. So you guys can at least get, the new guys on this channel can at least get a good look at what we're dealing with here. So these are one of the hooks that I was telling you guys about. Right there. And there was one there. There's one right here for the engine pulley, and I have to make more for the transmission because it just don't, she just don't want to stay on right. So I know visibility is not the best. I'll change that in just a minute. So to start off with today's video, we're going to put the belt on and just kind of show you guys how we're doing that. It's really important to look at this kind of stuff and say to yourself, hey, if I want to build an off-road mower, this is some of the stuff I have to look forward to or look for when doing these kind of swaps, especially with this specific model of mower. So, long ass belt going in, feeding it through the back toward the back of the pulley. Not a good start. You can even see my breath. Yeah, it's cold. The propane heater is just barely able to do it. Anyways, so I'm actually going to hook it from the transmission. So hook it from the back. It's kind of the same way you put any other mower belt on, really. Not a lot of people make these 101-inch belts in Kevlar, so it's a real treat if you find one. Alright, so make sure you guys can see this. It's beautiful. We're going to put this puppy up to the front here. And right there, you can actually see how it's really loose. It's really loose. I can move it. It's supposed to be stiff. Very loose. So this belt it'll work, but only just. And that's the problem right there. Because clutch out, you guys might be saying, oh, that'll fit. And you're right, that will fit. But it also matters when you have the clutch in, because the clutch in is really that's what matters most. You don't want to have to keep putting on your belt over and over again. So you can see the clutch here it's a sloppy. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. I apologize. You can see the belt here is sloppy. That is not good. A stick could get up in there and debelt myself. This is not a good thing right here. And you can see the front. The problem isn't from the front. You can see, because the front here, it's held. See how it's nice and stiff right there? Not stiff this way, but stiff up and down. It's being held by that hook. So is this part right over here. Nice and stiff, being held by that hook. But then when you look over here to this part of the belt with no hooks, sloppy, 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 sloppy. And you're not supposed to put hooks on this end because there's nowhere to put them. Not unless you put another pulley. So you put them by the transmission. Now the problem is the transmission is it's a pretty difficult thing to put a belt keeper on, because you also have to think of the future when you're dealing with this stuff. So future you having to put that belt back on, how big of a hassle do you want it to be? So there you go, guys. There's that rundown. I just wanted to show you guys that. So without further ado, I'm probably just going to skip the belt and go to the transmission, because doing this kind of belt work it could take hours, because you have to get the right stiffness. You have to test it. You can see there's a freaking wire right here. Got to change that out. That's part of the electrical job today. Get this stuff out. Just make the mower reliable. So, alrighty, guys. So, alrighty, guys. So, here we are under the big beast. Let's see if I can't get down here and get some more light. Alrighty. So, here's that transmission shifter. So, you can see here, the shifter looks pretty cockeyed. You can see that. You can also see it's loose. See how I'm moving it? You're not supposed to move it. It's supposed to be like this down here. Stiff, very stiff. This is loose. That's been my shifting problem, because this is what it's doing right now, is it's wanting to shift, but it's so loose on the top here, right up here, that it just won't shift. And just as simple as that, it won't shift. So the fix to this is to tighten this up, tighten the arm. That's it. And then, of course, test it, shift it, make sure that it's not going to hit anything else, because you don't want to have that. Don't want to have anything hitting, especially that drive pulley, because if you break that on the trails, unless you got a spare, you're cooked. So always got to think of that. So I got some channel locks, and let's see here. Let's see what size bolt we're dealing with here. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay. The one thing that's nice about a lifted mower like this, guys, is very, very nice to not have to have a jack to hold this thing up. I only have a jack stand on it to keep the transmission level, but the jack stand is standing level with the tire. So this is truly the real height we're looking at for this mower. So it's nice, you know, to have enough space to crawl under, look at things, and fix it if it needs fixing. So let's see here. Nope. Just rolling down the line here, seeing what works. Oh my goodness, don't tell me it's an exotic one. Alright guys, I'm gonna stop the camera here, get the right socket, and carry it from there. Quick update, guys. I just had an alert from my phone saying snowstorms right here, and look at that. Yep, we're getting hit. But man, that gasketing, I can't even feel it here. Can't even feel the wind. So we're chilling in here, but that snow is on the rise. I was actually debating about stopping this video, posting it later, getting out on a mower and making a video on that. But there's not enough snow on that driveway, so don't think that that's not a possibility, because that might be, I've got to make this video quicker, because we might be able to get 2 videos here. All right, so I found out it was a, what do we got, 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch here. Sorry if it's pitch black, give me a second. All right, we got this, we got that, got the channel locks. Let's tighten this puppy up. I should do more videos like this with Chuck, just better lighting. That's the only reason why I don't do it too much, you guys, is I feel kind of bad, because it's like there's so much here to see, and it's like it's so cool, but at the same time it's like, how can you guys enjoy it if you can't see it? You know what I mean? It's something. Like right now, I guess it's kind of good, but I gotta buy some lighting. And that's actually the other problem with doing nighttime riding. When you're riding with lawnmowers in the night, all the camera's picking up is the lights from the hood. That's it. If you got no lights on your hood, it's a pitch black scene. You guys can't, you can only hear what I'm doing. You can't see. So that was the other thing I was afraid of with doing nighttime driving. So I'm hoping to buy some LEDs for the plow vehicle, the pool on there. But if I can't get LEDs, I mean, the Husqvarna has LEDs, the Poulan's got lights, I mean, so we're good. It's just, you want to make sure you're getting the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to YouTube videos, because you only get to post once, and once you post it, you know, once you post it and people see it, you know, you can't unpost it and not expect people to forget about it, you know, it's, you gotta try to do the best you can with what you're given. Oh my goodness. Behave. Alright, so come on! Oh my goodness, guys, I've never had this much trouble with putting freaking channel locks on this mower. There we go. Jeez. Alright, she's tightening. This is a grade 8 bolt. You always want to use grade 8. Another problem, you know, you guys... there we go. Jesus Christ. Excuse my language. That scared me. I thought I skipped a tooth, but I just accidentally got it. I went at too much of an angle there. I gotta straighten up. Too much of an angle, slipped off. Another thing you guys really gotta look out for, and, you know, don't dick around with this stuff. The cold can do some bad stuff to your mowers. It can snap your... I used to plow through about 5 to 6 throttle cables every month because of the cold up here. It gets so bad up here, if you don't treat your throttle cables correctly and you don't lubricate them with WD-40, you're gonna snap them on these rigs. These throttle cables are not like the stock throttle cables on lawnmowers. Chuck runs a threaded throttle cable, so it's like, what it is it's just a wired throttle cable, and I changed it up to that because we kept snapping them. But the Husqvarna and the Poulan and Leroy, they do run the classic metal throttle cable, so it is something that, hey, you know, you want to be able to look at that and go, that's gonna snap, I gotta lubricate that. And let me tell you something, putting some WD-40 on those cables, it saves them. I'm telling you that right now, it saves them. Because if you go to choke your mower and you choke too hard, you snap them. So keep that in mind when you're off-roading, guys. Do not look at your throttle cables and just go, because let me tell you something, being stuck in the middle of a snowstorm in the woods with no throttle cable really sucks. You want to ask me how I know? Because I've done it before. It really sucks. That's the biggest reason why we run fat tread around here, is we don't want to get stuck when it comes especially to the winter. Mud? I don't care. It's warm. We got rigs here we can get home to and do some, you know, adventures with and get them out. But when it comes to the snow, no playing around. It's the biggest reason why we stopped going out so far. We used to do videos on these other trails across the mountain, and I mean, if you look back, we used to do a lot of cool stuff. We stopped because the mowers, there was that fear of, hey, if we get stuck out here and we got this bad tread, we're cooked, you know, like there's no coming back from that. So tread and the reliability of the mowers stopped us from doing it, because it was just like, we can't keep breaking down. But you can bet your bottom dollar we're going back to it next year, because I've never owned such a reliable fleet of mowers. Even Chuck here, you know, he's not running right now, but I'm telling you right now, if I put a battery in it, it'll fire right up. It's just small things that, you know, happen. And when you guys build your own mowers, it's going to happen to you guys too. You're going to build your mower, you're going to build your mud mower, you're going to be proud of it, but things are going to happen, and you know what? Let them happen. You gotta let the mower adjust to what it wants to do. If the mower wants to, I don't know, snap a belt on you, well, you know what? Maybe it was a bad belt, you know? So, it's gotta be careful. But other than that, it's always good to have fun. All right, so let's see if we can shift. We're in neutral. Come on, baby. Shift for me, please. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Fifth, sixth, right there. That's sixth gear. Wait. That's sixth gear. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Neutral. Reverse. And you can see how there's play in that metal arm? See that play? Not good. What can happen is when you're downshifting or upshifting, there's tension on that transmission from the body weight of the mower and your body weight going up and down hills. Puts tension onto that shifter. And if you have anything loose like this, you can snap that bolt, or the bolt can come out of the shifter, because it's loose. It's play. And the one thing you don't want to have when you're properly trying to make a mud mower, no play anywhere. If you have play, there's danger, because play means that it's going to break in that position. When you build these mowers really tough, the problem with building them tough is you have to look for every single weak point, because every tough spot is going to deliver the power or deliver the stress that's being put on it to the weakest part of the mower. And in this case, the stress is coming from the shifter and from the shifter rod here on the top, and it's going to devour it. It's going to deliver it to the weakest link point. And if there's no weak point, well, it can handle the stress. If there's a weak point, it's going to give it to that weak point. So see this right here? Too much stress is going to put it on that bolt, and you can see it's actually wanting to bend. And then before you know it, you've broken your arm. So always look for the weak points. You don't want to figure that out on the trails. We've done a lot of trial and error on this channel, and it's really good stuff to learn. Good stuff to get a grasp of, and you know, it's really cool stuff to learn too. Well, guys, we just checked the wiring. I just checked the wiring, and it's actually all done. So my bad. I didn't know that it was all done. Everything's there and accounted for. I thought everything was in pieces to need to be assembled, but nope, she's all together. And look at that, got all of our gears. Woo! Awesome, awesome. This baby's gonna be on the road very, very soon, so stay tuned for this, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Remember, hey, look at me. There's a subscribe button, right? Yeah, we'll put it right there. Boom, right there. And actually, you know what? Right, bam, right there. Please subscribe. It is really, really awesome when you guys do that, and I really appreciate it. Please remember to check out the Instagram and Patreon. A lot of content on there. It's free content, by the way, and stuff you don't get to see on this channel that you might even like. And we might be getting a couple good videos this week, because that snow, we're going to be spinning some tires, hopefully with this rig soon, but with the other rigs that are already working. So tomorrow, might be posting 2 videos this week. Who knows? I don't want to talk out loud. But that's all I got for you guys today. They're not all gonna be like today's video, but I figured just to at least give you guys something since you haven't heard from me in a while, and I like to keep the updates going. So without further ado, I hope you all stay safe, and I'll catch you guys next time. This is Impossible Mowers out.